Okay, America's now 37 trillion in debt, man. 37 trillion in debt, man. Bullshit Donald Trump, I believe, has added more to the deficit than Obama. Well, if he hasn't officially, he definitely will surpass Obama. Obama and Trump are both scumbags. They both work for the New World Order. They're both pals too behind the scenes, man. At Carter's funeral, they were giggling together. And now that Trump has attacked Iran, man, watch that deficit go up even more. Look at that, man. Look at that. Defense, war, look at that going up. Everything going up. Medicaid, Social Security. Wealth-based debt. In 1862, President Lincoln issued $450 million directly from the U.S. Treasury Department. These debt-free interest notes were known as greenbacks. On June 4th, 1963, President Kennedy signed Executive Order 111110, issuing $4.3 billion directly from the U.S. Treasury, bypassing the Federal Reserve Bank. These debt-free interest notes were known as silver certificates, both assassinated. Debclock.org. The history of banking. (1790) Rothschild, let me issue and control nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. Thomas Jefferson talks about how he believes banking institutions are more dangerous than armies, standing armies. Napoleon says when your government is dependent on bankers, the bankers lead the country, not these puppet politicians. President Andrew Jackson called them a den of vipers. He survived this assassination attempt. There's Lincoln, those debt-free. President Garfield, another president, he talked about that. He was assassinated. Whoever controls the volume of money in any country is absolute master. Yep. Nixon, who ended the gold standard. Alright, this video right here is some proof that presidents really aren't in charge of nothing.
What is the proper relationship, what should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take.
That was Alan Greenspan, who was the Federal Reserve chairman back in the 80s. I think he was the Federal Reserve chairman, I believe, up till George Bush Jr., I think. He said the relationship don't matter. They cannot overrule actions they take. Presidents are puppets, man. So it don't matter Trump, Obama. Bullshit.
Alright, talking about
Obama. Let me see. Yeah, Trump versus Obama is fake. Politics is pro wrestling. I don't sit around and laugh with my enemies with people that spent years trying to destroy me. Yeah, it's all theater, man. Obama versus Trump, no different than Hulk Hogan versus Randy Macho Man Savage. Yeah, look at this. Who's smiling, getting along fine. There's that piece of garbage, George Bush. Yeah, it's all fake. Obama supporters hate Trump. Obama supporters hate Trump supporters. Donald Trump supporters hate Obama. Trump supporters hate Obama supporters. But does Donald Trump and Obama hate each other? Nah. It's all fake. You're being played.
This is your fairy godmother, and I want to show you the difference between real money and fake money. Let's start with a dollar bill. This was created to mimic this. Can you see how tiny it is? But today, you can buy 3 cents. Well, guess how much this is? If you want to buy it today, it's $460. This is fake money that was created to mimic this. This is a $5 gold coin. And guess what? If you wanted to buy that today, it's $719. This is a $10 bill. It's actually legal tender. In other words, you can take this to the store and use it. It was created to mimic this. And today's retail price is $1,369. And how about this one? You can take this to the store. I'm not sure you can buy that much with it. And you certainly can't buy this $20 gold piece. If you were buying this one today, it'd be $2,694. This holds your purchasing power. This destroys your purchasing power. This is in your control. This is in their control. Which would you?
Hello, everyone. This is Donald Trump, and I got to say that a very terrible thing just happened, and I would have never let it happen. If I were president, I would have never let it happen. But I just saw that Lucas Gage had 250,000. He had 250,000 people on Twitter. Unbelievable numbers. Unbelievable. And it's very bad because it's higher than the numbers that were recorded at the Red Cross, by the way. Very high. And we can't let this happen, folks. We got to do something about it. And I was having dinner with Jared. I said, Jared, did you see what happened? Did you see Lucas Gage had 250,000? We were having, by the way, a wonderful bowl of matzo ball soup and gefilte fish, and Jared was very shocked. I said, Jared, why don't you make a phone call? Make this account disappear. You know what to do. And so hopefully Jared does this and Elon complies, but otherwise we have a very big problem, and I would have never let it happen if I were president. This is Alex Jones from RiverWars.com, and I got to say, look, I'm pretty disturbed. Look, I'm all about free speech, Big Ten Americana. I love everyone, but this Lucas Gage guy, all he does on Twitter is counter-signal InfoWars.com. Now, I'm tired of this crap. Look, we know the Nazis were gay. We know Hitler was trans. We know that the Shotcoms run the media. We know the Muslims run the Federal Reserve. Why is Lucas Gage having the ability to spew anti-Semitic rhetoric? Look, I love the Jewish people. I know, look, the Mossad, Jeffrey Epstein, all that is no good, but I love the Jewish people. And we got to get rid of Lucas Gage, because look, my grandfather fought Hitler with his bare hands, and I can't take this crap. Every time he tweets, he's taking a shit on my great-grandfather. Lucas Gage is a very disturbing young man. I was watching his Twitter, and he sits there and he spends most of his time talking about how Israel killed my father and my uncle. And frankly, it's deeply offensive because we all know that the CIA killed my father and my uncle. And saying that it's the Jewish people or the Israeli Mossad is deeply offensive to me and the Jewish community that I serve. And I really hope Elon Musk gets rid of Lucas Cage because he is a threat to our democracy. Hello, everyone. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger. How's everyone doing here? I want to talk about this Nazi loser, Lucas Cage. He has a very big number on Twitter now, 250,000, like my bench press. We got to make sure that Elon Musk, call Elon Musk and say, Elon, I want his account terminated.
Mr. President.
Well, you know, the biggest change I've seen in Congress is Israel literally owned Congress. You understand that 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And it was so powerful. It was so powerful. And today it's almost the opposite. You have between AOC and Omar and these people that hate Israel. They hate it with a passion. They're controlling Congress, and Israel is not a force in Congress anymore. It's just amazing. I've never seen such a change. And we're not talking about over a very long period of time. But I think you know exactly what I'm saying. They had such power. Israel had such power, and rightfully, over Congress, and now it doesn't. It's incredible, actually.